I have to admit, I'm pretty fortunate and lucky. Yeah, I'm pretty spoiled.
We need to start calling you Discombobulated Friday. That's a great
Tiffany,
name for
can you please make me host so I can mute Barb?
Oh, wow.
By the way, Barb, I love her to death. I was just on the phone with her and I had to beg her to get off with me so I could be on with you guys.
And Tom,
I think it was the other way around, guys. Anyway,
Hey,
Tom, I made that call.
Do you have a quick second? 4 hours later, I can't get my hand off the phone in my ear. I'm kidding,
so
Barb.
Full of it.
I'm kidding, Barb. Look at this. We have some great people on the call this morning. Good to see everyone. We have some good stuff to cover today.
I'm excited. You didn't tell me any any secret.
Are you not receiving my emails anymore?
Tom has been, don't make me jump through this computer, Tom. I have that ability. He kept this one tight-lipped.
Well, here's the thing. Because I procrastinated on some things, I was going to have my coach do the call this morning with me. So next week, I'll actually have my coach on the call doing a session with you guys for next Friday. So spread the word. I just wanted to give everyone enough time to really spread the word and get on this call, get a lot of our fellow EXPs on here and invite guests, because my coach is going to throw some great nuggets at you guys about he's a master at the economic model, the numbers, and also database and how it works and how to utilize the best database systems to earn your business back. So we all have KV Core, we all have systems that we use, but the reality is we're not utilizing them. We're not utilizing it to its highest capability. I don't have time to learn it. We got all a million excuses. So, and I'm one. Here's what I try to do now. Who can I pay to take care of that? Because I'm not going to go figure it out. But sometimes you just can't keep paying and paying and paying and paying for everything. So,
I just read that part in the Millionaire Agent, Tom.
You did?
Yeah, yeah. You know, when you reach a point where you just can't do it no more, hire somebody to do it.
Well, and what he talks about in there is, you know, you have to really kind of take everything that you do and go, who's better at this than me? And hire that person.
Nobody.
That's what we think, right? That's what we have in our head. And then there's another book that I'm reading, which is, oh gosh, what is it? I'm running a blank for whatever reason. Let me pull it up. This one's pretty incredible because as I'm talking to agents, they're telling me the struggles with other agents. And I said, oh, multipliers. So the book called Multipliers really talks about utilizing someone else's strengths. So if you're in the middle of a transaction with another realtor and you're just not seeing eye to eye, maybe there's certain things that are not their strengths. So I had an agent that I was speaking to 2 days ago, and I said, if this agent seems so incompetent, have you thought about asking them, hey, how long have you been in the business and what can I do to help you make this transaction much easier? And when she did that, it opened up a whole lot of opportunities for her to build a relationship with that agent. It's just, we all have struggles. We all have things that go on. You never know if someone just lost a family member or a loved one, or just got bad news on their health. Whatever it may be, they may be in the middle of that transaction. It's not our problem. I understand that, but this is part of life. We all run into those situations. So.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll go through some housekeeping and then turn it back over to you, Tom.
All right.
Good morning and happy Friday. Oh, really quick, guys. Tom, I cannot make you co-host because when I do that, you tend to mute me. So no, you do not get co-host privileges ever. If you request that Joe and I mute someone, we will, but you cannot do it yourself. But good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Turn on your cameras. I only Well, half my screen has faces. Please turn on your cameras. We'd love to see your beautiful faces. Hey, Lizette, thank you. Gorgeous. Please be mindful of your mics, but if you have questions, raise your hand by using the reactions button or throw it into the chat. For training, I'm going to suggest that you guys hop into iConversations today. Something tells me it's just going to be amazing. So hop in there later today. That is in the world. If we have any guests that would like to attend these trainings that I suggest, please get with the person that invited you. We can get you guest access to go attend those trainings that I shout out, and tons of other trainings as well. Like Tom mentioned, we are agents helping agents. We truly care. I don't have a lot going on today for state classes, but Joe, if you could drop that link for them. And we have the summit coming up, guys. Be on the lookout. Monday, I'll make my weekly post and it'll say 2 weeks. And I'm so excited. My plane tickets, mine and Clark's plane tickets are already purchased. Our hotel rooms are reserved, and I can't wait to see you guys in person. Joe has dropped the link for that as well. And that's pretty much it, Tom. We've got 43 of us all here, 44 of us now, all ready for you.
It's going up and down, up and down. It's okay. So today, guys, I want you guys to think about something. Today, I've been battling working my brain around what's it going to look like between now and the end of the year. Guys, we have 4 months left. That's it, right? 4 months. We have September, October, November, December, 4 months. And by the way, the activities we take today start showing up in 90 days. So everything that we're doing today is showing up in December. So how do we achieve everything that we want between now and the end of the year? Or how do we achieve a highly successful first quarter of 2022? I'm going to come back a little. I'm going to do backwards a little bit for a second. We actually are going to have, I'm going to be doing an in-house training September 23rd. Tiffany, I don't know if the Eventbrite or whatever's our invite or list or how that's going to go, but that's going to be in person and it will be live streamed. Guys, it's going to be 3 hours. If you say, hey, I can't make it for the first hour, don't show up. You're not going to gain anything. I promise you. You'll just be wasting 2 hours of your time, because then you're going to come call me and you're going to go, hey, what happened the first hour? Since it's going to be live streamed, you'll be able to probably go back and watch it from the beginning. So I highly recommend that you either show up on time or because, and then I'm going to do it more than once anyways, between September and October. So it's business planning clinic. It's going to be a minimum of 3 hours. Minimum of 3 hours. So prepare for 3 solid hours of great material, and you're going to walk out of there with some awesome stuff and a plan and a goal and moving into next year. Bring a friend. By the way, I think Tom McNamara, I don't know if he's on the call right now. It's a first come, first served basis. And I think he said 45 to 50 people can fit in the room. So you might want to prepare to get that as soon as possible. Okay. All right. So we got 47 people now on this call, and this may be to you, some of you be a little bit going, oh, that's kind of boring call today. I hope not, but we're going to dig into your goal. And here's what I want you to do. This is all you need. Piece of paper and a pen. Okay. And I'm going to ask some questions to you guys, and I want you to write it down. And I'm going to give you some time of silence to write your stuff down. Okay. So if you're driving, obviously, Sasha, I see you're in your car, but you might be pulled over. If you're driving, please don't just go back and watch this over. Okay. I see Delaney driving there. I don't want you to go off the road. This is good information for you to hear as well. So, all right, we're going into September. December is just around the corner. New Year's Eve, right around the corner. All right, how do we achieve our goal between now and the end of the year? So my coach did this with me. So I'm coming to you guys with what I'm learning too. Okay. So I want you to think about either money or transactions. Okay. How much money do you want to earn between now and the end of the year? Or how many transactions do you want to close between now and the end of the year? So I want you to write that down. How many transactions or how much money do I need to, not need, would I like to earn between now and the end of the year that will fulfill a great goal? What is it specifically that you want to accomplish between now and the end of the year? Okay, I'm going to move from here. Now, here's what's really important. Why is that important to you? Why is that goal important to you? Some of us, it's to accomplish icons. Some of us, it may be to provide a great Christmas. Some of us, it may be to put food on the table. Some of us, it may be to pay our MLS dues that are going to be coming up. Some of us, it may be to buy another investment property before the end of the year. Why is that goal important to you? And I want you to I really want you to dig deep. I want you to think, why is that goal important? And then write that down. Okay. Now, this is where it really comes in. If you don't achieve the goal, who are you letting down? What goal are you letting down? And who's going to be the most impacted by you not achieving the goal? Is it a family vacation and then having to tell them we're not going on vacation because I didn't achieve my goal? But I really want you to be committed to this. Guys, if you're not committed to this, it just doesn't work. Have a commitment to this. It will work if you're very committed, okay? Now, I want you to go back to the goal. Between now and the end of the year, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to write beside the goal your commitment to achieving that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to achieve that? Is there anyone out there vulnerable to answer this next question that I'm going to give you? All right, I know there'll be someone on there. All right, if you did not put a 10, who's vulnerable to talk to me about that? Deep.
I am totally.
Deep,
I didn't
Style.
put a 10
Tell me why you did not put a 10, Style.
because I feel that I'm completely off the track.
Okay.
And that's not letting me achieve my goals. I'm like, I think I'm like towards the beginning of that scale, to tell you the truth.
Okay, Style, I'm going to ask you another question. Name one thing or two things that if you were to commit to, that would make it a 10. So if there's one or two things that you can do to move that scale from whatever it is to a 10, what would it be? What is stopping it from being a 10? Or who is stopping it from being a 10? What is the one thing or two things that you can do to make it a 10?
Well, primarily just focus.
Okay.
I'm completely out of focus
Okay. So
because things happen that, this might sound lame and sound like an excuse, but it really is not. It was just, I was totally focused on my daughter before she moved into college and everything. So that took me completely out of track, and I completely abandoned everything else. And now that she's there, I feel like I have to go back. I need somehow to go back and get back on track.
Stael, thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for being vulnerable. Life happens, right? You're a mom. Your daughter's going to college. I want you to do something for you, though. I want you to pull yourself back, and I want you to write down one or two things that can put you back on track quickly in order to achieve that goal. Is it going to the summit, re-energizing? Is it going to a training class at the Board of Realtors? Is it what can put you back on track and do it as fast as possible? Take action immediately.
Well, going to the summit for sure.
Okay.
And I think I actually talked to someone about this yesterday. I think if I partner with someone and just work together with someone, it'll definitely pump me up and put me back on track. I think I'm missing the motivation, and I'm thinking working by myself is not giving me that motivation.
Okay. You may be right or you may be wrong. It doesn't matter. You're acknowledging what needs to change. So I'm going to go to deep after this. I want you to write down what you feel can bring you to a 10, and I want you to take action on it, Stael. There's no right or wrong. If you get a partner, if you go on a team, no matter what that is, it's the right thing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you may recognize in 3 months, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's okay. Find what will make it a 10 and take action immediately. Hey, thank you, Stael. Deep. So when we look at the goal and we go on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed am I to achieve that? Where are you at on that scale?
I put down 8.
Okay. Listen, guys, that's a good goal. Let's say if it's 10 transactions, he's going to do 8. That's not a lose, is it?
Not at
Not
all.
for some of us, but maybe for him. Right? So Deep, what would it look like? What do you have to do to make it a 10? What do you have to put into your commitment to make it a 10 and change it from an 8?
It's the same thing you keep on preaching every week. Time effing blocking.
Okay.
Time blocking. Like, I had a conversation yesterday with Will, and
by the way, you guys are side by side right now on my screen.
That's funny.
You guys are talking to each other.
So, we individually think we're not doing what we're not doing. It's all of us having that same problem. And that was my biggest complaint to him yesterday on my part was, this is what I need to do. Whenever I see something on my schedule, automatically my brain functions very differently. Like, I had to set up a lunch with him. I made sure I did my inspection before. I blocked off time. That was my 1 hour or hour and a half with him, focused just with that individual. And when it comes to my work, I'm like a squirrel. Like, it just, like, I get pulled in every direction, and then I lose the momentum. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Some of these guys are shaking your head and saying, he doesn't need to do this. We do need this to do, because these are habits we need to create day to day. Me doing 25 deals or 30 deals this year, it's not irrelevant. I want to be at the next level. I want to give back to my team and agents that come and think that we're doing something right. We're not. We're in the same boat. We just need to create this over and over. And Tom, my Friday is always my favorite calls. You know that. I don't have to tell you. I think I just need a shirt saying that. Friday is a fair mastermind call for me. But you know, you keep on preaching it. I'm trying, and I'm really trying hard.
Deep, thanks for your vulnerability. And we all go through it. I promise you, I do as well. My coach catches me, and it's good to pull me back on track. It's like going to the bowling alley, right? I put up the bumper so my ball doesn't go in the gutter. It keeps me in the lane, right? I need those bumpers all the time, and I need someone to put me back on track. Deep, I want you to think about something, and I want you to write this down. And you may not be able to write it down now, but if you don't get your commitment to a level 10, outside of you, who's affected, and I want you to write that down. And then I want you to tell yourself, I'm not going to let that particular person down. So now you're doing it for someone else that's on your why. And it sounds to me like your team, giving back, making sure my team achieves their goal. So think about that. So when we're trying to accomplish something for someone else, we may go, I'm going to be more committed to that. Okay, does that make sense? All right.
And Tom,
So-
Trisha Hausman has her hand up.
Trisha, where's she at? I'm looking at my screen. All right, Trisha.
I was, my comment I wanted to make was about commitment phobia. So when putting down a 10, that's a really strong statement. And I don't know about anybody else, but being in real estate for the years that I have has really given me issues with commitment. Or maybe it was just my life history in general, but that commitment phobia, you start out with a plan in the day. And I mean, God bless, if I wasn't blessed with the ability to just shift my schedule on a dime and adjust priorities in the schedule, it feels like constant chaos. And I'm just being generally vulnerable here. Living in a state of what feels like to me constant chaos and managing that chaos for, 15 years now gives me commitment phobia to say, what am I going to do? Because I literally have no idea what's going to fall apart tomorrow that I need to save. And I feel like I'm constantly saving others. And I myself, and I'm going to sound really vulnerable for a moment here, I feel like I'm sinking. And I know the words and I know the knowledge, but God bless it, how come I refuse to time block and say, no matter what's going on in your world, this is most important to me in this time that I schedule. Does that make sense?
Trisha, it does. And I'm listening and reading my notes here. And I want you to think about this, and thank you for your vulnerability. And because you're not alone. And when you make that a 10 and you make that commitment, now this is a goal, this is a short-term goal from now till the end of the year, right? We're not making the long-term goal. Let's take some little steps, right? This is our little step going into next year to make that big 1-year step, right? What obstacles need to be removed immediately in order for you to commit to that 10? What could you do to overcome that obstacle? And what other potential courses of action can you think of that you need to take? And guys, you got to do it now. You got to dig in and go, I'm committed to this 10 to achieve this goal. And these obstacles are going to be obstacles that are going to be removed. Okay. Whether it's the obstacle of commitment, whether it's the obstacle of time block, this is your business. And there's got to be someone that's going to suffer the consequences if you do not accomplish your goal outside of you. And I want you to put that person down. So every time you decide that you're not committed to doing your goal, you wake up and you look at that person and go, I'm not committed to our goal, so I can't provide this for you. Maybe it's a child, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's someone. Some of you, I know it's to buy a home for your mother and father, right? Are you not going to do the things you're going to do to avoid doing that for those parents? And I know that because I get really, really to know our people. Okay. So what's the goal? What's your commitment to it? What's stopping you from achieving it? And why is it so important to you? Okay. And now I'm going to go into something where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. Which options do you want to pursue? Turn them into action steps. So what I mean by that is, what will you do to eliminate those obstacles? What will you do to take immediate action now? And by when? So if you say, I'm gonna time block, Deep, Trisha, I'm gonna time block and I'm gonna make this my priority. When are you gonna make that your priority? When are you gonna take a stand and make that change? Is it now? Is it Monday? Is it planning your calendar out for next week? When is it?
It's today.
It's today. Take action immediately. Okay. Take action. Now, whatever you wrote down to make that commitment a 10, you got to do everything in your power that you can do to make it right. You've just identified what you need to do to make it a 10. And you've also identified why that goal is so important for you to achieve it by the end of the year. You've also identified who could be most affected if I don't achieve that goal. You know,
Tom, real quick, I've heard the couple, Trisha and Deep both talking about time blocking, and I've heard different coaches, listen to different things, and a lot of them kind of preach this master your morning. So I think it helps when you're doing time blocking, you look at a whole day and you're like, oh, I start at 5 o'clock, or whoever does that, God bless you guys. I'm more of a 6 o'clock, 6:30 kind of guy. But anyway, to have your whole day lined out and you're off track by 9 o'clock, you're like, I'm done. And so I think it makes more sense if you can start by just really committing to, say, 3 hours in the morning. This is going to be my no BS. It's going to be 3 hours of calling. It's going to be 1 hour of doing some office work planning ahead of my calls, or even script practice, or whatever it is, and master 3 hours, and then add another hour, master 4 hours. Because if you look at your whole day and say, I've got to, 10 o'clock, I got to move to this, and you get overwhelmed. I don't, unless you maybe have a military background where you're used to every minute of your day being planned for you, I think it overwhelms most of us to do that. So start with mastering your morning, or, something a little bit smaller, get that success, add to it, and grow that way. I think it's really important to do that.
Will, that's great advice. That you perfectly said, right? One little, how to eat an elephant one bite at a time. Just start off with the little commitments to get you moving forward, right? This book has changed my perception on a lot of things. Miracle Morning, not Miracle Morning for agents, Miracle Morning. This man was involved in a car accident, and he was told he would never walk again, and then started running marathons. And he talks about time block, and he talks about what things to do every day to get your day started, right? So it's a great book, and it goes right in alignment with what Will is saying. If you're not a 5 o'clock person and you're a 6 o'clock person, it doesn't matter. What are the things that you're doing every single morning that's going to get your day going in the right direction, right? So the little things, pulling it together. Well, I have my coach challenged me on this 8 years ago. All right. Her name's Debbie Frapp. She's one of the most amazing coaches I've ever had. She's a life coach. She's an amazing lady. And she said to me, Tom, what would it look like if you had your entire year planned out? And I'm like, I can't even figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow. She goes, well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to start 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, 1 quarter at a time. And before you know it, your year's going to be scheduled out. Are you ready? And I'm like, I got panic attacks, and I started resisting and pushing back. And it was hard, man. It was not easy. So in November, she puts out the whole entire calendar for the year and says, I want you to go into that calendar. I want you to put birthdays for your families, holidays. Then I want you to schedule in your vacations. Then I want you to schedule in your education time. Then I want you to schedule in your lead generation time. Okay. And I was like, oh, it's not as hard as I thought. It really wasn't. So once you have a plan, if you can do it, it's just about for me, what it was the implementation of making sure I stayed on track to what that plan was. So if you can commit to 1 hour of lead generation every day to accomplish that goal, and then the next week, 2 hours, 3 hours. Here's the other thing. Imagine if you woke up on Monday morning, and all your appointments were already scheduled for the whole week. How would that make you feel? See, we call that front loading. We call that front loading. How many people can I schedule for an appointment for next week? So that way, then when Monday starts, I'm not already behind. Okay. And sometimes appointments come up spontaneous too, I get it. So when you have a plan and you have a goal, you'll have a roadmap to achieve it. A lot of us will wake up some days and we go, we don't know what's going on. We hope our phone rings today with a buyer or seller. So like Will said, what's the little steps that you can take moving forward? This is a business. It's consistency and persistence. There's no such thing as perfection. I don't care how long you've been in the business. We don't perfect anything. We got to keep making it better every day. By the way, the book Miracle Morning, I actually have the template on my screen. So if I did a screen share with you, I'm going to show you. It's called Life. It says Lifesavers. Okay, in the book it talks about the word savers, and there's 6 letters there: silence, affirmation, vision, exercise, reading, and scripting, journaling. And he talks about starting off slowly every day, 10 minutes of each one, which is 60 minutes, it's 1 hour. And it's a pathway to your day to be a highly successful day, because we don't have any negativity in that morning. The morning becomes a miracle. We have nothing but positivity and great energy. Maybe some of that is getting in the way with our goals for the day. Maybe some of that is getting in the way of our time blocking, right? So what's the goal on a scale of 1 to 10? How committed are you to it? What can make it a 10? And what are you going to do about it if you don't achieve it to take action steps quickly? Whether chunking it down hour by hour or 2 hours a day or whatever it may be. And then really asking yourself, when will I start? What will this do for me? And then nothing's going to get in the way of me achieving it. Okay. Now I'm going to open it up for, I'm actually looking for my sheet here. I'm going to open it up.
I think Lizette has her hands up. I don't know if you can see her screen or not.
Oh, I see her. I was avoiding her. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I've known Lizette for a long time.
It's okay. I was like, oh, he'll get to me when he can. It doesn't matter. No, it's okay.
So we're opening up for now for ahas, questions, and everything else. Lizette, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna when I was in coaching, excuse me, when I was in coaching, one of the things I hear everybody talking about time blocking and all that. What you said was key. I just wanted to add on what you said about time blocking as far as like putting everything a year ahead. And by the way, I'm going to put this out there. I still have a lot of work to, like, even though I had coaching, and this is something my coach hammered me on October, November, she made me do the same thing. She's like, you're going to open up and put everything for the next year. And I mean, I used to run around like, okay, wait. I mean, because I have 5 kids, a husband, a business, all this, all in a schedule, medical appointment, everything. So anyways, one thing that I did, at least whatever my priority was, if it's my family, I made sure I put all my, like you said, all my time off was there already for the year. So I put everything on the calendar. I don't know if you guys see in the back, there's a 12-month calendar. and it's a dry erase calendar. And I've actually, I can color in by colors what days are personal days, what days are work days, and you can actually see how many days you're gonna work and how many days are gonna be time off. Now, do I run it perfectly? No, but it gives you an idea where you can start somewhere, even though you don't have it perfected, but at least you're seeing, oh, wow, this actually works better than what I did before. The key, what my coach used to tell me was that you should be able to get up and you don't have to think about what you're gonna do. You just follow your schedule. There's no thinking. You get up and follow, right? So therefore you just go, you do what you need to do. And then at the end of the day, you were productive because you followed your schedule. So that's all I wanted to add on to what Tom said.
Well, thank you for that. And that's one of the biggest challenges I had was when my coach challenged me to do my calendar, training calendar, everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's too much. I can't even think about what I'm going to do tomorrow or this week. I mean, and then to have a whole year, Will, it was I'm telling you, it was one of the toughest things. And I pushed back and I kept pushing back. What ended up happening was, man, holy cow, my life is so simplified. I know exactly what I got to do tomorrow. I know what I got to do all week. I know what I got to do moving forward. And here's the thing, what helped me was my Google Calendar and putting people in there to see my calendar, like my wife and my coach. They can see it, so I can't hide it. So if my coach says, how many appointments did you have? And I go, he knows because it's in my calendar and he's got a copy of it. He can see it. So that's a commitment because holy cow, he's going to see my calendar. And by the way, George actually has access to my calendar too. So if him and I need to meet or something, he knows, all right, what my calendar looks like. It really will free you of this chaos. Go ahead, Lizette.
And one more thing, also, you guys also need to time block to check your calendar weekly and on a monthly basis. So you also need to time block to review it. Like for me, it's Sunday night. Like after my day off is Sunday with the family. It's all dedicated to them. If my kids want to watch a movie, I do whatever it is they want me to do. And then at a certain time of night when they're in bed, I sit with my calendar to see what I'm going to do. If there needs to be modifications and things like that, again, not perfected, but I mean, it's something that I was taught that you need to take off time to even check your calendars weekly. So that way you have anything that comes up, you can rearrange. But just a tip, like I said, I'm with you guys in the trenches. I am with you because I have the exact same issues you guys do. I promise you, the same things.
Yeah, the only thing I don't have on my calendar is bed at 8:30 and every night,
Or the dog, yeah, the 8 o'clock. Yeah.
So guys, here's the thing, your subconscious mind, every single morning, every single one of us, I guarantee, has the exact same routine. We get up the same way, we go to the bathroom the same way, we go downstairs, we make our coffee, whatever. It's our routine. If you think about our morning routine, look at Patricia Diaz, her routine may be every single day that treadmill there, right? But think about it, every single morning, our routine is almost, there's no change in it. And if you look at your morning routine, why is it that way? Because you've consistently done it over years. So your subconscious brain is telling you, this is what I'm doing. So the more you get your calendar and your time blocking there, it works. So I got off course for a while. My coach pulled me right back. Got off course, he pulled me right back. But having that accountability with yourself and your goal really puts you in check. So we have only 4 months left between now and the end of the year. What are you going to do to take action to achieve what's important to you and your whatever your why you wrote down is? And go after it. And by the way, I have to say this. Most realtors, and I've been in the zone this 22 years, most realtors go into September going, the business is slowing down, so I'm going to kind of lay back a little bit. October comes, Halloween's here, we got to decorate the house for Halloween and the kids. Then November comes, it's Thanksgiving, this month, and I'm going to decorate for Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday, I'm going to go shopping. Oh my gosh, Christmas is here, so I'm going to decorate and I'm going to take 2 weeks off. Guess what they haven't done? They haven't lead generated. They haven't done yet. People are still buying and people are still selling during that time. ramp it up now, so that way your end of the year and your first quarter is massive. It means going out there and consistently doing what you need to do, because other realtors are not doing it. I promise you, they're not. They're seasonal workers. I would say about 80% of the agents out there are seasonal. All right, March is here. Let's get ramped up. Ah, man, September's here. Things are slowing down. I'm going to take a break till next March. Seriously, they're seasonal. Go out there and be a consistent realtor every single day, every day. So, ahas, more questions. We got more time. Will, thank you. Style, thank you. Deep, thank you. Lizette, thank you for contributing and really voicing your struggles and your concerns, and it helps us all. It really does. And by the way, guys, I may be up here talking about how these things can help you, but as I'm telling you, it's helping me, because I got to put things in check myself. And I can tell you, not every day is perfect. It is not. And every day I wake up, it can be a struggle with life. Every day that I wake up, I got to figure out and go, all right, how consistent am I going to be? So there's nothing perfect about what I'm telling you that I do. It's not. But I do the best that I can every day, and I do what I can do to get just a little bit better every day.
Well, my coach always said that whatever you're lacking, go teach.
That is so dead on.
My coach was like, you're lacking time management, go teach about time management.
If you have the fear of making phone calls, do 3-way calls.
Yeah.
Get an accountability partner. So Style, if making for sale by owner call, and I'm just saying this, if making for sale by owner calls is scary for you, get someone on the phone with you as a 3-way and just tell them to be silent and just make it, and just know that someone's there with you. Right? Many times I remember my kids growing up, oh, Dad, I don't want to do that by myself. Can you at least come with me? And as soon as you walk beside them, their confidence rises.
It's not even doing by yourself. It's the motivation. I think it's a lack of motivation. It's not even, I don't have a problem doing it by myself. I have a problem just getting there and take the first, I guess the first step.
Yeah, get somebody with you to say, hey, I'm going to make 20 calls today. You make your 20 calls today, and we'll do them all by 3-way, or whatever it may be, Style. I'm just throwing some ideas out there, because even there's, like yesterday, I was sitting down looking at my list of agents I'm getting ready to call, and I started getting call reluctance. So I'm like, let me just send them a text message or an email.
Yeah.
So I go through it too every day. And then I'm like, darn it. All right. I picked up the phone, made the phone call, and it was fun.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom.
Tom, it's crazy in Style, how you kind of get away from what you've done in the past and then need to be pulled back. When I was coaching, those kids came in every day at a certain time, and we had that practice scripted by minute. They knew for 10 minutes, we're working on this. For 15 minutes, we're working on this. For 4 minutes, we're going to do this. For 8 minutes, we're going to do this. We had a quote of the day, an emphasis for offense and defense. And I've even had kids come back and tell me that are in their mid-30s, like, Coach, that structure, I live by it. When I go on vacation, it's all planned out. I can't go with my mom anymore because she's willy-nilly, does whatever. I have to be structured. And I don't know where in the hell I got off of that, but I got to get back to my calendar. And, I think I'm gonna bring in Deep, since as of yesterday, I'm one of the newest EXP agents. Woo-hoo. But yeah, I think, just saying, you know what, damn it, I just got to do it, and get 1 week done, get a day done, and just kind of block that time out to do things.
I'm just I've never worked by myself on my own. I've always been in an office. I think that's what I really wish we really had an office to go to. That's why I was looking for either a team or I don't know. It's just, I think that's what's missing for me, at least.
Yeah. Find out what that is and what you can fill that gap in with Style, and start searching and reaching out. And this is
Yeah,
the
I
best
know.
place to do it. We got 45 people. And Red, thank you for sharing that. You know, I remember when I played football and all through little and then high school and stuff, our coach would always say, if you're 10 minutes late for practice, you're either running the entire practice or just go home, because you're missing it for a reason, because it's structured. And you know, here's what we always hated going for is the conditioning part. We wanted to do the practice part, not the conditioning part. So a lot of us would come in late, and guess what? We paid for that. So there's a consistency there, and it's there for a reason. And if we can program our business like that, how awesome would it be? You know, we're here inside the book. It also talks in the Miracle Morning, which makes it so great. I'm not trying to get off track here, but it talks about, as children, we're held accountable to do our chores, make our bed, go to school, blah, blah, blah. And as we grow a little older, we get a little more freedom. Now we got a car, we're 16 years old and we get to drive, but we're still accountable. We got to make sure we don't get speeding tickets or do anything wrong because it's a machine. And then we get out of high school and we go to college. Okay, I'm accountable to my grades, but I got all this freedom now. Mom and dad's not around. Okay, but I'm still accountable to my grades, whatever. And then we get out of college and it's like, what do I do? I'm lost because I don't have that person to be accountable to anymore. So that's where life coaches come in. That's where coaches come in. That's where accountability partners, friends, like-minded individuals come in. So that's also in the book. So Stephanie.
Good morning, guys. I just wanted to add on to something that Will put me onto. He's my sponsor. Can you guys hear me? I'm using this Bluetooth thing in my jigging. Yes, okay. He put me on to one of the cutest places to bring people to, or to even work. We live in Claremont, Florida, so there's it's called the Citrus Tower. So it's a major monument in our city, and they have a little coffee shop downstairs, and it's just that they have so many workspaces. So Sael, if you want to be in an environment where you can be surrounded by like-minded people, even the library, when you think about it.
Oh, I've been utilizing the Regis space.
The Regis is beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I've been using.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, do it.
Yep. And guys, I ran big offices, and when I would go in the office, one of the things that would burn me more than anything is, here's the typical office, and you guys that have been in the business long enough, you'll understand this. You walk in the morning, you walk down the hall, you get coffee, you talk to everybody up and down the halls. Before you know it, it's lunchtime, you go out to lunch, you come back and you talk to more people and you go, holy cow, the day's gone and I've done nothing. I will tell you, I used to walk down the halls and go, come on guys, get back in your office. Come on, lead generate. You remember, Jeff, if you don't achieve this, Brody doesn't get this, this, and this, right? And then if you don't do this, your wife has to go back to work, right? And you want her to be a stay-home mom. Come on. Oh, okay, Tom, thanks. So I had a responsibility not to crack the whip on them because they're independent contractors, but I had to bring it back and go, remember, your goal is this, but I had to know, or my people, I had to know the people that I was leading because I wanted to be invested in them. Will, that's a great job with Stephanie. She needed something and you gave her a solution. So whoever your sponsor is, whoever's in your line, hey guys, this could be an opportunity for you. Why don't you look at this? Because we have a responsibility as leaders to lead. See, leaders grow leaders. And when I'm working with Lizette or I'm working with individuals, I hope that I'm giving them some wisdom that I've learned from my coaches over the years or the books that I'm reading, so they can pass it on as well. So.
Yeah, and Tom, that's a good point. Like, I think most of us understand this, and it's something that Deep and I were talking about yesterday, especially for me, is, what do they say is the enemy of a great life? A good life, and so a lot of us get settled in the fact that, I'm in this business and I'm making good enough money. It's fine, but we don't push ourselves to get to what could be. I mean, you could be taking amazing vacations every year or whatever it is that's important to you. You could be reaching these. I mean, there's no reason in this business that you can't accomplish a lot with regard to your financial freedom, your goals, freedom in general. But we settle for good and don't push to great. And I think that I'm kind of hearing that in what Style's talking about, is she's got a level of comfort there. And I think it's hard for all of us sometimes to find a why that's bigger than our comfort level in our good life, and really find a why that drives us to reach further and to grab hold of that great life that's out there waiting for us.
You know, so John Maxwell, I was in a leadership meeting with John Maxwell, and he did this. He goes, everyone do this, you know, he goes, do this. And we're like this here. And he goes, all right, so everyone's down here working their way up to be to the top, right? The view is so much prettier from the top, but we got all that work to climb up there, right? Everything worthwhile, everything uphill is, everything worthwhile is uphill. Okay. It is so easy to not do the things that we need to do to achieve the goal, such as diets, such as addictions, such as whatever those addictions are, whether it's smoking or alcohol or whatever it may be, addictions to food, exercise. You know, perfect example, you know, Tony's, you know, when he first started out again, he couldn't do what he's doing today because he had to start all over again. But consistency and making it a lifestyle will change everything. Makes it such bigger and better. Now I see Will has those guitars hanging in the back. They might be, are they guitars, or they might be whatever they, I don't know.
They're guitars.
Yeah, so if you gave me a guitar and said, this is how you do it, I don't sound great at all. But if I did it every single day for several hours a day over a period of 6-7 months, I might be good enough to play it. Just because Will's better at it than me, and he says, oh, just do this, do this, do this. I'm like, huh, chunk it down, do one little thing at a time consistently every day, and then keep growing and keep growing from it. So my best advice that I can give you is, if you know your goal now that you wrote it down and you understand why it's important to you, and you know what's getting in the way of doing it, work on that. Work on that. Went real quiet. I see Frank, he's thinking, he just kind of went like this. All right, it's open. It's 9:23. I appreciate you guys so much. Please know that my coach is going to be on the call next week, and he's going to have, it's going to be him and a guest. He's going to do an exercise. He can only be on the call till 9, 8:30 to 9. So he has to get off at 9. So I really want him to get started. Boom, get in there, get all the content that's going to be extremely important to you guys. And it's going to kind of piggyback on what we just talked about today. And he's going to share some awesome, awesome stuff. If you can be in a place where you can park or be at a desk to write notes, please do, because this is going to be dynamic for you. So, all right. Lizette shared a file in the meeting. Lizette put some great things in the chat box. Guys, download those before you get off. And this is all about time blocking and setting your schedule and all kinds of things in there. So you all have some great stuff in there. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, so many things, like so many things. Like you pick a thing and it's there. You just have to ask. If you don't ask, you shall not receive. I'm just saying, you have to ask.
Yeah.
Be
So
like
Lizette's a mama.
Go ahead, sorry.
Lizette's a mom of 5. She's a caregiver for her husband, who's a disabled veteran. She's a wife. She's takes care of her home, and she runs a very successful business. So how she creates balance like that, I don't know. I just say she's a machine or a miracle worker, because I wouldn't be able to do that at all, period. So those of you who have similar lives, maybe you reach out and give her a call or a text and say, hey, how do you do it? You know, how do you plan it? So we're all here to help each other. All right, Tiffany, it's all yours. Are you there?
I'm here.